Hello, and welcome back to the Handy Outdoorsman. Recently, I was asked what I do to keep the mice out of the camper, and to be honest, I have not been able to eliminate mice completely out of the camper. I have done several things to keep them at bay, to where I'm not overrun. Now, I'll catch a mouse once every week or once every 2 weeks, depending upon how often I'm here and able to do the steps that I'm doing to keep them at bay. And so the first thing that I'm using is just, you know, an old-fashioned mouse trap that most of us have used our entire lives. And these are great. You know, they're effective, but the problem with these is that, you know, they need to be maintained. As soon as one trap goes off, you know, it's ineffective until it's set again. And if I'm not here on a weekly basis or every other week, then I can't be able to do that. As effective as they are, they're a one-time shot until they're reset. So I have several placed throughout the camper, and that's I'll call that my first line of defense. The second thing I've done is I've covered up all of my vents. My vent for my stove, for the heater, for the air conditioner, so that they're able to get in anywhere through the top or the bottom of the camper. They're not using the duct system to gain access. And I'll place a rug over the vent or place a piece of wood, and you know, that helps as well. And it's since I've started doing that, you know, the number of mice that I was catching has gone down considerably. So I thought, okay, that's how they're getting in, but yet I was still catching the occasional one or two. So I'm thinking, okay, they've got to be coming in somewhere else. So the third thing I've done is I've gone out and I've gotten whole cloves, and I bought them in bulk. Gordon Foods, I think, is where I bought them. And I take these whole cloves and I stuff them in holes where there's a penetration for electrical wire, for plumbing, anywhere that there's already a hole that the mice may try to enlarge to come in. And this whole cloves has got a bitter taste to them, and they don't like that, so they'll stop trying to chew through that in order to make the hole bigger. So that helped after I did that. So that was the third thing that I did. And then the fourth thing that I've done that seems to have really made the biggest difference is I've gone out and I purchased peppermint oil. It's essential peppermint oils. And what I do with that is that I'll take an eyedropper full and I'll put it into a cotton ball. And then I take these cotton balls and place them all throughout the camper. Anywhere that, you know, a mouse may try and get, you know, come across the countertops, the floor, in the cabinets, in the bed, anywhere that I feel that they're going to try and enter the camper and or trying to make a house or make a home, I'll put a cotton ball there. And since doing this, you know, that was the creme de la creme, if you will, of mouse traps. It worked really well for me. I saw a big difference. Now the problem with this, as well as the traditional mouse traps, is that, you know, they need to be refreshed or refreshened, you know, once a month. Now I'm thinking long term. How am I going to keep the mice out when I'm not up here every other weekend or every week? And so I went out and did some more research, and I found Boss of the Swamp, what he does to keep mice at bay as well. And it's called the bucket trap, where he's taken a 5-gallon bucket. Is that he takes a rod that's used to keep insulation batting in the rafters, and he drills a hole through the bucket, and then he also drills a hole through a can, and then puts that on the inside of the bucket. Now what happens when you spin this can, you know, it's just going to roll real freely. But what you do is you take the bucket, fill it halfway full of water, and then pour 2 or 3 handful of sunflower seeds so that it looks like the water is solid. It doesn't look like water. And then you spread peanut butter on top of the can and throw a few sunflower seeds on there. When you do that, the mice jumps down, and when they do, they're taking a little bath, or I should say they're swimming with the fishes. And this was cheap. I had the 5-gallon buckets laying around, pop cans. If you drink pop, those are laying around. I had to go and buy those rods, which was just a couple of bucks. And then I bought a 20-pound bag of sunflower seeds for $10. So I've got a mouse trap here that will hopefully catch mice. Oh, the one other thing that you need to do is take just a stick and put a couple of screws on the end so it latches onto the top there, to give them something to walk up when they smell that. Then what I do with that is I put it right underneath the camper. So before they even get in to the camper, then I'm trying to catch them before they get in. So we'll continue to do this. I've been getting maybe 5-6 mice every time I come up in the bucket, and in the camper I'll get 1 or 2, maybe 3, depending on how long it's been since I was last up. But real cheap, renewable mouse trap for when you're not able to come up somewhere on a regular basis. All right. Now, you can use water. It works great from spring to fall. But once the cold weather comes in, then I use RV antifreeze, or something I found out recently that you can do cheaper is DeIcer. Now that winter's come here in Michigan, this stuff goes on sale for $2 a gallon, which is much cheaper than RV antifreeze, and it goes down to cold temperatures, and it does the same thing. So you can set this up relatively cheap. And the nice thing about this bucket trap is that it doesn't need to be reset. It's just ongoing. So I'm hoping that will help me to like I said, not eliminate the mice, but definitely keep them at bay to where they're not keeping up residence. But yeah, it's just what I do here to try and keep things in order. All right, so I hope that is able to help you with your camper and some of the things that you can do. This is what I'm doing, and it seems to be working out okay. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope that you learned something and that it was helpful for you to keep mice at bay in your camper. So until the next video, take care and God bless.